42 UTC. The team has been busy throughout the morning preparing for launch vehicle on the pad, with operations going well so far on Pad A at Launch Complex 1. Now, today's mission will be Electron's 12th this year, and the vehicle is looking nice and ready for launch, with LOX loading well underway. LOX loading begins around 2 hours before liftoff, before being continuously circulated to keep it at the right temperature for the mission.
That's right. Today, Live Laugh Launch is flying from Pad A at LC1, and at our customer's request, we'll be ending today's broadcast shortly after kickstage separation.
But for now, it was a little less than a decade ago in 2017 that Electron took to the skies with its very first ever mission called It's a Test. And now here we are about to fly our 70th mission to Live, Laugh, Launch. Electron is a powerhouse in the launch industry and the leader of small lift, completing missions in the name of scientific research, climate monitoring, global connectivity, and national security. We've launched for NASA, the NRO, a huge range of commercial customers, and have been pushing the boundaries of what a small orbital launch vehicle can do.
Let's take a look at Electron's rocket-like growth.
Off of Rocket Lab's Alana 19 mission. This one's for Pickering.
100 engines is a big number of engines, and I'm incredibly proud of the propulsion team and the whole company for that.
In the air and onward to the moon for the capstone mission. That rocket is soaring through this nighttime sky.
The Harvest Goddess is on her way to space for a 69th Electron launch.
It feels like we've squeezed a lifetime of growth in less than a decade, and this year is no exception as Electron continues to break its own records.
That's right, the summer has been a jam-packed one for Electron. We've had a month of 4 launches back-to-back in June, with 2 of those within just a 2-day period, making it our fastest turnaround time yet from the same launch site. It feels like every month we're celebrating a new milestone, and today is no exception as we prepare to cross Flight 70 off our list.
That's right, and at T-minus 12 minutes to liftoff, it's time for us to check in with Mission Control and our launch operators, who will be running the count today. Our launch director is Paula Tares Seralonga, who will go down the line with each operator to make sure that each station is ready to proceed with the final minutes of the countdown. This is what we call the go, no-go sequence, and it's one of the key safety checks before we prepare to send Electron on its way. Let's listen in now to Mission Control to see how Electron is tracking for launch.
Control stations, LD and Mission Core proceeding with the go, no-go sequence. Stage.
Stages go.
Avionics.
Avionics is go.
GNC.
GNC is go.
Vicon.
Vicon is go.
T1.
T1 is go.
GC.
GC is go.
PLS.
PLS is go.
RSO.
RSO is go.
MET.
Met is go.
MM.
MM is go.
LDSAP.
LDSUP is go.
Copy all. We go, no-go sequence is now complete. We are T-minus 11 minutes 23 seconds and counting. We are go for terminal count auto sequence starting at T-minus 10 minutes. From this time, the 3-word procedure is in effect.
Fantastic. All goes across the board from Mission Control to move forward with today's launch. We are currently T-minus 11 to liftoff, which is currently set at 10:42 a.m. local time. Now, if we need to shift or push that back for any reason, we have a 2-hour launch window today and can reset the clock if need be.
GC, LD and Mission Court.
LDGC.
GC proceed with sequence 57, part terminal checks.
Copy sequence 57 and work.
"70 launches deep for Electron, but I can hear you asking, what about Neutron? Well, we reached a few exciting milestones recently for our new medium lift rocket that the team have been working hard on getting ready for launch. The qualification campaign for Neutron's engine Archimedes has been full fire at our test site at the Stennis Space Center in Mississippi and showing off some beautiful blue plume from its liquid oxygen and methane mix.
Absolutely. Archimedes is a highly reusable liquid propellant engine with an oxidizer-rich stage combustion cycle, making it capable of a total liftoff thrust of 1,485,000 pounds of thrust. For context, the Rutherford engines on Electron reach up to 43,000 pounds of thrust at liftoff, but Neutron is over twice as tall, about 5 times wider, and about 40 times heavier than Electron. So you can imagine Archimedes is going through a very rigorous qualification campaign to make it ready for and reliable for Neutron launches and, of course, landings back on Earth. Let's check it out.
Archimedes is an ox-rich stage combustion engine. There are 9 of them on stage 1. The stage 1 engine is capable of 165,000 pounds of thrust, and on stage 2, it's capable of 200,000 pounds of thrust.
You go from essentially standstill to 100% throttle in a second. And you've got valves opening and closing, gases purging, ignition sources opening and closing. The pump goes from 0 to just under 30,000 RPM within that roughly 1 second period.
What an absolute beast of a machine that engine is. Around 90% of Archimedes is made up of 3D printed material manufactured at our Engine Development Center in Long Beach, including the housings for the turbo pumps and valves and components for the engine's structure, pre-burner, and main chamber.
That's right, and the shop floor is also set up for the manufacturing and assembly teams to be able to produce an engine every 11 days or so, and averaging around 3 to 4 hot fires a day at Stennis. Some pretty incredible stuff from the Neutron team.
Copy.
LDGC on mission.
GCLD.
Turning back now to today's launch, and you can see with the countdown clock on your screen there, we are getting ever closer to entering the final stretch before today's mission, Live, Laugh, Launch. The extremely cold liquid oxygen propellant that Electron uses makes any moisture on the rocket freeze, and so the white on Electron tells us that the LOX is being loaded and we are nearly ready to take flight. In just a moment, we'll enter the final countdown where Electron will take over the controls as its flight computer autonomously completes a series of critical checks before liftoff. One callout we can expect from mission control is that LOX is in circulation, which means Electron's tanks are fully topped off and the propellant is being circulated.
That's right. We'll also hear a call out confirming that both stages of the rocket are fully pressurized for flight before, last but not least, our launch director will begin the 10-second countdown to liftoff. And that time is almost here, so let's bring up the audio channels at Mission Control and listen carefully for those call outs. We'll be back with you shortly after liftoff.
From now, there should be no red flags on your critical LCCs. Beacon LD admission court.
LD Beacon.
Beacon, lock the auto sequence and confirm.
Auto sequence is locked.
And confirm all flight computer ASCIIs are green.
Confirmed.
Copy, thank you, Beacon. We'll go for auto sequence start at T-minus 2 minutes. LDs go for launch.
The vehicle is fully on internal power. AFTS is green and enable for flight.
LOX load is complete. System is in recirculation. Anti-geysering is disabled. Stage 1 and 2 tanks are pressed for flight.
High flow engine purge enabled.
T-minus 20 seconds and counting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off.
Vehicle is turning head. Beginning pitch run.
Stage 1 propulsion nominal.
There goes Electron, a beautiful liftoff there for Live Laugh launch, now on its way to orbit. Electron is quickly picking up its speed and altitude and approaching a crucial moment in launch that we call max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure. This is when the atmospheric forces on the vehicle are at their peak.
That's right, and we're standing by now for the call from Mission Control that we have successfully navigated this phase.
Cleared max Q.
AGB discharge nominal.
And that's confirmation from Mission Control that Electron has successfully passed through max Q. All data is looking nominal so far, and the rocket speed and altitude are right on target. Next up will be first stage separation and MECO, or main engine cutoff.
Is nominal.
Electron's first stage is powered by 9 Rutherford engine that, as Sam mentioned, will soon power down in preparation for MECO. Once that's complete, the first and second stages of Electron will separate, allowing Electron to drop the first stage that it no longer needs. Next, the single vacuum-optimized Rutherford engine on the second stage will ignite so that it can propel the second stage and the payload to its orbital destination. These actions are coming up in just a few moments, so let's check them out.
15 seconds to staging.
Enter burnout detect mode.
MECO confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed.
Stage 2 ignition confirmed.
A beautiful engine light up for the second stage Rutherford, powering the mission now at more than 8,000 kilometers per hour and 93 kilometers in altitude. Now that we've dropped the dead weight of the first stage, next to separate will be Electron's fairing halves from the top of the second stage. That will expose the payload attached to the kick stage to space for the very first time. Always a really exciting moment in the mission. Let's listen in now to mission control and keep an eye out for those two fairing halves to fall away.
Fairing jettison confirmed.
And there they go,
Guidance
the
is nominal.
fairings have been jettisoned away right on schedule at T+3 minutes into flight.
HUB discharge, holding nominal.
We're cruising now over 9,000 kilometers per hour at an altitude of 142 kilometers. We've got about 5 minutes left on the second stage's engine burn time. Now, next up will be key milestones for Electron called battery hot swap, which we'll see shortly.
Stage 2 propulsion holding nominal.
The engine nozzle on your screen there belongs to Electron's Stage 2 Rutherford engine, an engine that is very unique. The pumps that feed propellant into the combustion chamber are powered by electric motors and high-voltage batteries. This cuts down on much of the complex machinery required for gas-powered engines, meaning that the Rutherford is simpler to build than a traditional engine, but it is also fiercely efficient with a 90% efficiency.
That's right, and since the second stage's journey lasts for longer than the batteries it started with, Electron has to swap to a fresh set along the way. This has the added benefit, of course, of reducing mass and increasing performance for the rest of the flight when those old battery packs fall away. Now, coming up in just a few moments will be that milestone, which we call the hot swap. If you look closely, you should be able to see that the first pack of batteries jettison away from the second stage. Let's listen in to mission control now.
Guidance is nominal. 200 seconds remaining.
HUB discharge, holding nominal. Approaching hot swap in roughly 30 seconds.
Throttling down.
Battery jettison confirmed.
Confirm hot swap successful.
Excellent call out there, and thank you to those batteries for their service onward and upward for Live, Laugh, Launch. Electron's Rutherford engine is powering on bright and beautiful, with the vehicle's velocity now at more than 16,600 kilometers per hour and getting closer to its required altitude now at more than 198 kilometers above Earth. Next up, we have our second engine cutoff, or SECO, where the second stage engine will power down to prepare for kick stage separation.
HUB discharge, holding nominal.
Now, typically, an Electron journey from the launch pad to the mission's target altitude takes less than 10 minutes total. Right now, we are about 7 minutes into Electron's 70th flight, so we have only a few more minutes to go until this phase of the mission is complete. So far, everything is proceeding nominally, and our current speed is right on target at about 21,000 kilometers per hour.
The nozzle on the Stage 2 Rutherford is glowing strong, and we are about 195 kilometers in altitude and dropping towards our perigee, and the views from space aren't bad either.
Entered burnout detect mode.
The second stage will soon be towards the end of its journey, where it will throttle down and shut off in time to allow for the kick stage and its payload to separate.
That's right, and after second engine cutoff, or SECO, the kick stage with its payload will enter a coasting phase as it orbits Earth, preparing to deploy today's payload. Let's listen in now to Mission Control to hear when we cleared SECO and separate the kick stage from Stage 2.
SECO confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed.
Nominal transfer orbit achieved.
And there it is, SECO confirmed, and the kick stage has separated with today's payload, placing it in an elliptical parking orbit. It will now coast around Earth for about 40 minutes or so before the Curie engine ignites to circularize the kick stage's orbit and deploy today's payload.
And at the request of the customer, we'll be ending the broadcast now, but stay glued to our social media accounts for confirmation of payload deployment. It'll be coming up in the next 40. Thank you so much for tuning in to celebrate Electron's 70th launch.
We lived, we laughed, and we launched indeed. Thank you again for joining us, and until next time, this is Rocket Lab Mission Control signing off.